got a familiar face today. I'm very pleased to have Josh Poole back, who's senior physiotherapist down in Colchester. We've also got Anya from the branch as well joining us. So hi Anya, thank you for joining us. Looking very relaxed before the workout. Brilliant. So if you're joining us live, do say hi in the comments. Let us know where you're joining from. Tonight we've got a HIIT taster session. So that stands for high intensity interval training. But Josh will be demonstrating all of the exercises standing, and Anya will be demonstrating them sitting down as well. So you can give it a go seated if you're doing this for the first time, and then you can always come back, watch the recording later on and try the standing exercises as well. Brilliant. Hi Joe, I can see you joining us. And do make sure as well, if you are joining in live, then make sure you've got comfortable trainers on, you've got some space around you, and you've got a chair to balance with, and also some water handy as well for the session. And if you're not sure if this is suitable for you, then you can always check with your healthcare team. You can watch the session live, make sure it's suitable for you, and then come back and watch the recording anytime. So Josh, was there anything else I haven't covered yet? I think hopefully covered the basics.
No, comprehensive as always. You know, if people want to take part, like you say, you're taking it part at your own willingness. You know, if you just want to do some of the exercises, you know, feel free, or you just want to observe and then maybe watch it back at another time. You know, whatever you want to do, just getting involved is the best thing as possible. But the fact you're here and you're attending, you're trying to, you know, find ways to help manage your symptoms day to day is the most important thing. So yeah, and I'm always more than happy to reach out or to speak to any of our participants or anyone who's observed, wants some advice, information moving forwards. That's
brilliant, thank you. And it's also a good chance as well to tell people about the Colchester branch and your brilliant YouTube channel as well. I know you'll mention the stretch sessions on there as well. Don't cringe, they're great. No. Do you want to tell us a bit about the branch as well?
Yeah, so I've been working with the branch now, must be since about 2013, as when I was a physiotherapy assistant. In fact, before I did my qualification, I got involved, fell in love with the group, and then when I qualified, come back and support it as a qualified physiotherapist, and now they can't seem to get rid of me. So it's been a great journey, to say the least. You know, working with these groups of people, you know, it's the social element as well as the exercise element that's been very beneficial. You've got people that are really taking ownership over their conditions and wanting to sort of better themselves physiologically and also, you know, psychologically as well around this. So we know the benefits of hydrotherapy, which has been our main therapeutic intervention, but, you know, we've been engaging a lot with the evidence-based practice and trying different methods. And as much as COVID has been a significant struggle for most of us, we found, you know, some positives out of it and took to more virtual based means to make sure our group still got together. We still met, we caught up, chatted, but also engaged in some virtual based exercise sessions and stretching sessions. And that's when we come up with the cringe YouTube video, and say that videoing yourself is quite awkward at times, and the amount of takes that it takes to get what you feel at least an acceptable video. But yes, we're going to be updating that over the summer period. Things have been quite hectic. Most of the therapists here working with the NHS have been, you know, it's been quite stretched to say the least lately, but we want to make sure we're providing most up-to-date resources for not just our branch, but wider as well.
Absolutely, you do a fantastic job, and I'll pop a link to the YouTube page in the comments as well. So anyone who's watching either live or on catch up can have a look at the page and can find some videos to work out to as well.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. So before we get started, do you just want to briefly tell people about sort of what you'll be doing today in terms of the HIIT session?
Yeah, sure. So we'll do a 5-minute warm up, a fairly simple one, just to get the heart rate going, get warmed up a bit, you know, making sure we're feeling a bit more comfortable to get involved in some of the activities. The HIIT session in itself will last approximately 15 minutes. So each exercise that we go through, there's going to be a seated and a standing exercise, so to hopefully cater for as many people as possible. There'll be 40 seconds of work or exercise, and then 20 seconds of what I like to say active rest. And active rest means you're just still moving around gently, whether it's you're rotating your neck, you're rolling your shoulders, you're tapping your toes, you're still moving to keep that heart rate and that blood flow going, which is the most important element. It will be back to back, so you will feel like you're working fairly hard throughout. You'll get quite warm. So at any point in time, you do feel like, okay, I want to have a rest, you take as much rest as you want. Like Zoe has said, this is a recorded session. So at any point in time, once the recording is finished, you can break it down into smaller chunks that's more comfortable for yourself. We'll then finish, once we've done the 15-minute session, we'll have a drink, cool down, and then we'll go into, like what I say, I'll signpost you actually to a dynamic stretching session. So I was going to include this originally in our regime tonight. However, the physiological benefits of doing high intensity interval training last a bit longer if we're not cooling down as quickly. So what I'd like you to all do is to sort of, continue with your active rest afterwards. And then if you feel more comfortable to, say, 20 or 30 minutes after the session has ended, you can be directed to the NASS website, where they've got some fantastic resources around how to sort of be active and stretch around your day-to-day. If not, you can obviously head to our YouTube web page, where my colleague Chris has done a fantastic stretching session for you all.
That's fantastic, thank you. So I think I'll hand over to you for the session. I'm going to make your window full screen, but I'm going to be joining in. So I'm going to be joining in with everyone, and just quickly say hi to Noor, who's watching from Afghanistan. I think we haven't had anyone watching from there before, so thank you for joining. And yeah, hope you enjoy the session.
Fantastic.
I'll hand over to you, Josh.
Brilliant. I'm going to stretch my screen as well. Okay. Thank you very much, Zoe. So I have my esteemed colleague and friend here, Anya, who's going to be going through the seated versions of the exercises. I will be doing them in standing, okay? You can choose to use weights if you would like to. If not, bottles of water or tins of soup, those sort of things are perfectly able to add just that little bit more resistance if you're finding some of these movements quite simple. I will talk through as best as I can. But like I say, what I'll be doing is sending the information on to Zoe, the breakdown of the exercises after the session is finished. And you'll also have access to the recording. For therefore, you can look at the movements in a bit more finer detail and build it into your day-to-day or maybe your weekly program that you have. So without further ado, I'm going to set my watch to make sure that we have got a timer, and I'll keep track of time as best as possible. My patients and colleagues here sometimes know that my timekeeping skills aren't fantastic, so bear with me on that when I'm trying to multitask. But we're going to start with a 5-minute warm-up. Unfortunately, there's no music. Please get some music on in your own home to get yourself feeling moving a bit more comfortable. All right. And we are going to start in the next 10 seconds with some gentle toe taps. So as you're sitting there, and you'll do some toe taps. So 3, 2, 1, off we go. So we're just going to do some gentle toe taps. Just get moving. You can get those arms moving if you want, if you feel comfortable with a little bit of a punch moving forwards. Good. We'll do this for about 30 seconds, and then we'll mix things up ever so much. Good. Now what we're going to do, keep his arms moving very gently, but we're going to tap 1 foot forwards and 1 foot back. 1 foot forwards and 1 foot back. You can then start moving your arms. Now this is where we have to work on Anya's coordination. And mine, as it would seem. So we're starting just to incorporate more body movements, get everything working at the same time. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move our foot to the side and back in again, side and back in again. And this is what's going to incorporate one of the seated exercises, but in standing, we'll do it in a slightly different way. So I'm just trying to get these hips woken up a little bit now. Get that blood flow going. Now moving up the pace a little bit. So I want to gradually start getting that heart rate up ready for when we start the session. And me and Anya are trying to do it as in sync as possible. Right, now back to march. Now what I'd like you to do, and those who are sitting in the chair, to get those knees just that little bit higher, we're going to be swinging those arms a little bit more now. Now I want you to gradually build those arms up as if you're climbing up a ladder. Good. Hope you feel those arms feel just that little bit heavier. Blood flow's getting there as well. Good. Now letting those arms rest a little bit whilst I'm marching. Going to do some nice big shoulder rolls. So I like to stretch that chest open, up and back, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to shrug our shoulders up whilst keeping those feet still moving. Hold up, so shrug up and hold, and then relax. Shrug up and hold, and relax. And again, a couple more times, shrug up and hold, relax. Last one, shrug up, hold, and relax. Okay, now, one of the exercises that we'll be doing in the HIIT workout as well, Annie's going to demonstrate in the chair. We're going to do it for a little bit of a warm-up as well, is I want Annie to just gently push up from the chair and back down again. And for us in standing, we're just going to do some mini dips, okay? One of the most important elements when doing this movement is not letting your knees go too far forwards, as if you're sitting down and coming back up again. So that will be the first exercise that we will do in the HIIT workout, okay? There we go. We'll turn around, so continue the warm-up, keep those toes tapping. The next one, which Annie's going to demonstrate, is you're going to be taking one leg out to the side and back in again, and then the other one back out to the side and back in again. All right, so you continue doing that for me, Anya. For us in standing, if you need to hold on to a supportive surface, leg coming out to the side and back in. And we'll do that for 20 seconds on one leg, and we'll do 20 seconds on the other leg. Good. Keep those toes tapping, just so I can talk through the next two exercises. The next one, we'll be holding a weight, okay? And what that weight, if you want to, of course, you don't have to, you can do it freehand as well. And you will also demonstrate, you'll be moving this position up and down again. You're rotating up and looking up as well. So again, we're using the whole of the spine there. Our feet stay planted, toes pointing forwards, and we're reaching up. And you do that for 20 seconds one side, and then you go the other way, as Anya is beautifully demonstrating there. Lovely. And now the last few seconds of this warm-up for the last two exercises will be alternate elbow to alternate knee. Good, we're in sync, I love it. And again, that'll be for the 40 seconds. And then to finish, the last one will be one of my personal favorites I love doing with the team. Again, you can hold weights if you want to, that's stretching forwards and up. But as you can see, Anya demonstrating beautifully, you can do that in the chair. Okay, and what's important about these exercises, what I try to adopt is these functional movement patterns. You choose to add weight if you so wish, but again, that's entirely up to you. And then we'll have those active rest periods, and that is more or less 5 minutes on the dot of a bit of a warm-up, plus an introduction to the exercises. So in the next 30 seconds, we are going to go straight into the workout. Okay, I will talk through as best as I can. I do struggle with sometimes being out of breath at times when doing these, so hopefully you'll be following along, or if not, follow along at a later time that's more comfortable for yourselves, okay? So I'm going to use weights throughout just to demonstrate the use of them, okay? The first exercise that Anya and myself are going to do, you are going to do the tricep push, and I'm going to do the squat exercise, okay? So we are going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and off we go. So we're going to do 40 seconds of work, and then 20 seconds of active rest. And in those 20 seconds, please have a drink, stay hydrated, but keep moving, okay? Just so you can see what I'm doing from the side. As you can see, my knees aren't going too far forwards there. So that's 20 seconds already. We keep the movement, we keep going continuously to what is comfortable. If you feel like you need to have a longer rest break, that is absolutely fine. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Okay, you can choose to put the weights down, keep moving, have a little bit of a drink, and we start the next exercise in the next 15 seconds. Okay, but just to demonstrate to you, and you'll be doing it in seated, I'm going to be doing it in standing. Okay, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Good. And then after 20 seconds, what we'll do is we'll change leg. Okay, so keep going. I'm trying to keep myself nice and straight, and I'm letting the outside of my hip do the work. It's obviously a slightly different movement in the chair, but it still does a very similar job. And change legs. So just so you can see what I'm doing, I'll flip over. I'm now working on my left leg. Again, trying to keep myself up nice and tall. I'm letting the outside of my hip do the work. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Well done. Keep moving. If you want to have a drink, like I say, during these 20 seconds. But I want to keep that heart rate going at that steady pace. Okay. Just to demonstrate the next exercise, it's going to be 20 seconds of reaching over one side. Me and Annie will go to the right, so we look nice in sync. And then we'll swap over 20 seconds time. And off we go. So coming across the body, reaching up and looking over. Coming back down, reaching up. See, my feet are planted, making sure I'm gluing myself to the floor, bending my knees slightly as I bend down and then reach back up again and really stretch out. Good. And now we swap sides. So going from bottom of the right up to the left. Good. And up again. Brilliant. Again, a nice functional movement, a little bit of weight and resistance. Just makes you work that little bit harder. And rest there. Brilliant stuff. Okay. Next exercise is elbow to knee. Okay. Elbow to knee. I can see Anya checking which side I'm going first to make sure we look in sync. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So right there we go. There we go. And you move at a pace that you're comfortable to do. But think you're rotating at this point. You're moving a lot of elements of your spine. You're lifting your hips up, which is very important for walking. You're standing on one leg, which is very important for balance. It provides a multitude of benefits. And that's already 25 seconds gone, 15 to go. Are you out of breath yet, Anya?
Yes, even though it's down.
Good. A little bit of breathlessness is good, okay? And then using that 20 seconds for that short recovery, good, and rest. But keeping that blood flowing. So deep breaths in and out. Good, make sure you're filling the base of your lungs with all of that oxygen. Okay, and last but not least, again, I'm going to use weights just for this round. It's stretching forward and reaching up. So in 3, 2, 1, and off we go. And what I like to do is alternate the standing leg as you go forwards. So you're reaching up. Good. Perfect. And we're in sync again, Anya. I think this is the first time ever in our years of history. 10 years now, isn't it?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Trying very hard.
Yes. You're doing fantastic. Better than me. Good. 10 seconds to go. Good. And as you can feel, every time you're moving, you're using everything to reach up. So just so you see where I'm standing, I'm sideways. It's a lovely exercise. You use your neck and your thoracic and lumbar spine at once. And there we go. Right. Quick turn around. And then we're going to go back to the squats. So we've got 10 seconds until we start the next one. Have a drink, please. You know, keep yourself hydrated. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So again, that nice sort of squatting base movement. Again, important for sit to stand from a chair. So important to keep these glutes, hamstrings, and your quadriceps nice and strong. Good. There we go. That's my fault for being out of sync there. There we go. Good. 20 seconds to go on this one. Great work. 10 to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Okay, the next one again is the hip abduction. Do 20 seconds one way, 20 seconds the other. I'm also going to grab a quick drink. Important to stay hydrated. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. The reason it's so important to stay hydrated is actually clinically proven to help with pain. You know, the more fluid, well, the right fluids that you take in also helps lubricate your joints as well, making exercise much more easier. Also gets rid of those byproducts that build up in the muscle tissues, that lactate. Also helps to thin out your blood, so it gets around your body much easier. So that's why hydration is really, really important. Good. And change legs. Yeah, no, up nice and tall, leg outside of your hip, doing the work. And 3, 2, 1. Well done. Keep moving, keep hydrated, all of the above. Right. Grab my weight. And in 3 seconds, we are going to be going again up to the right. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, up we go. using everything. You're leaning down and you're stretching up. Good. 5 seconds to go on this side. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Then we're going to move straight into the other side. So reaching up and down. Nice controlled movement all the way up and down. It's not just a rush up and then slump down. It's a move all the way up and then slowly down. Nice and controlled. Use everything. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Fantastic. The next one is knees to elbow. And then we're already halfway through now. So there's only one more set after this. Okay. So in 3, 2, 1. Again, as long as you're doing this movement, you can hold for a few seconds to make it a bit more difficult. Or if you're feeling more energetic, you can add a bit more movement to it. But only what's comfortable. All right. So I'm going to catch up down here. There we go. This is a nice controlled movement. As you can see, I'm picking myself up and back, but nice and controlled throughout. It's already over halfway. Nearly there. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Rest there. And last but not least for this set, before we go into the final set, is that stepping forwards and reaching and looking up and coming back down again. Stepping forwards, reaching up, back down again. You can use a work surface to hold on to and then just step forwards and use one arm if you want to have a bit more support. All right? So 3, 2, 1. Step forwards and up. Lovely. Good. And I like the way Anya is demonstrating this. Lovely. It'll be a nice little stretch, little active stretch for your hamstrings as well. Good. Step back a little bit so you can get in the full screen. Good work. We're nearly there. Halfway through this set. Again, you don't have to use weight. The movement principle in itself is very, very effective and beneficial. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Well done. Okay, get some fluids on board. We've only got one more set to go, which will start in the next 15 seconds. Keep it moving. Doing some deep breathing exercises. Prepare yourself for the next one in 3, 2, 1, and off we go. So going down and up. The depth can be as comfortable as you want. Just make sure as if you're going to sit on a chair. Commonly, I do teach my patients to have a chair behind them, as if you're going to sit down and then you're pushing up, because that helps to adopt a better form and posture when doing this exercise. 15 seconds to go. Good. Remember, this is the final set. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Brilliant. Rest there. Okay. The next one, that abduction exercise, and you'll demonstrate in the chair, I'll demonstrate in standing. And we'll do that in the next 10 seconds. Deep breaths when you can as well. Hold and then blow. Remember, you are in control, in complete control. So 3, 2, 1, off we go. And I like what Anya was doing as well, because what you can do is you can look over that side as well. Start using more muscle groups. Or you can look the other way as well. But again, that does require better coordination than what I have. Okay? And swap over now. Good. Again, thinking up nice and tall, shoulders up and back. Just letting the outside of the hip do the work. You should feel the squeeze just in this area here. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Well done. Okay. Weights at the ready if you want them. Bottles of water, tins of soup, anything that's comfortable. And we'll start again in the next 5 seconds. And it's going to be very simply leaning down one side and stretching all the way up. Okay. So in 3, 2, 1, down and all the way up. Good. Well done. You notice I'll probably get a bit more quieter now, the more tired I'm getting. That's nearly 20 seconds there, and swap over other sides. So you come down, reaching up, down, reaching up. So as you come down, you're gently unlocking those knees. When you're stretching up, you're then extending nice and tall, squeezing those bottom muscles, squeezing those calf muscles, stabilizing yourself, and you're coming up nice and tall. But as you can see, we are doing the movement at the same speed, going up and coming down, and rest there. Well done. 2 more exercises to go. And we're going to start in the next 10 seconds. Again, penultimate exercise is elbows to knees. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Here we go. We're going to try and get our taps in as sync as possible to make it look like we're professionals here. Good. Need 20 seconds down. 20 to go. Ten on the clock. Keep it going for these last 2 exercises. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Brilliant. 1 more exercise to go, and then a nice, well-deserved rest. So, weights at the ready if you choose to. We're going to commence in the next 10 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step forward and reaching up. Again, nice fluid movement. Again, see how we're using the whole of the body to help support that movement. We're not swinging the arms. We're still using our shoulders and our arm muscles to reach up high. But we're using everything, including our back with this exercise, all the way down to our big toe that's helping to stabilize us. Keep going. We are very nearly there. Only 10 seconds left on the clock for those who are taking part. Usually I make our group go that little bit longer, but I think Annie's been too good for this tonight, so. 3, 2, 1, and there we go. Brilliant. Place everything down safely. Make sure you take some nice deep breaths. So anytime you're cooling down throughout exercises, hydration's key. Make sure you got a towel and do some nice slow controlled deep breaths in through the nose, filling up to the base of your lungs, holding for a few seconds and blowing out your mouth slowly. Okay, so 3 to 4 of them are nice to really calm your respiratory rate down. Like I say, a bit of breathlessness is very much normal when doing this level of exercise, and actually quite good for you. It helps to open up your lung tissue more, clear any secretions that you might have on your chest, and therefore able to take in oxygen better. Okay, and that oxygen is needed for your muscles to thrive. So yeah, without further ado, that session completed. I want to thank everyone who has taken part today. Please obviously revisit this recording again in the future. You know, break it down into smaller chunks. If you're unsure about any exercises and you want to reach out, you know, I'm sure Zoe will get in contact with me as well. If not, you're more than happy to drop me an email of sorts. I'd like to signpost you now to either the NASS website. As you know, some fantastic resources there around day-to-day and how to manage symptoms, also alongside of stretching activities and exercise that you can incorporate. As you know, we do have a YouTube channel that you can look at, which is, you know, in keeping with a lot of the evidence base. You know, we tried to keep it as adaptable for all, but again, your comments, your feedback would be greatly appreciated with how we can always make things better. Okay, I'm sure you can imagine it is quite difficult to cater for every single person when doing these sessions, but I'm more than happy, and I have done before, supported other branches with virtual sessions. And if it's not too far away, I don't ever mind making a trip to see you all. But anyway, I think Annie's asleep now or doing her next stretches, either or. But yes, like I say, please check out the stretching session. Try and engage in one of those sessions this evening, and you will be feeling tip-top by tomorrow. Thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank you both so much. And I'm still slightly out of breath, so I apologise. I have been joining in. I've got my chair there as proof. Yeah, keeping an eye on comments as we go as well. So that's been great.
Thank you very much, Barry. Thank you.
hi to Caroline, Joe, and Ginny and Emma all joining us live as well. So I hope you've all enjoyed that. And Caroline says, brilliant session. Thanks, Josh. So lots of thanks coming in.
Good,
yeah,
good, good.
That was fantastic. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions, please do pop them in the comments and I can pass them on to Josh. But yeah, that was a fantastic session, always a good workout. And I love how you can kind of scale it up or scale it down depending on how you're feeling. And it was interesting because I hadn't noticed that my right hip had become so stiff until I was doing those movements. And it's amazing with these kind of exercises, you start getting a bit more in tune with your body, don't you?
Absolutely. And like I say, there's hopefully try to engage something for everyone. I know there tends to be recurrent themes of especially times of year where our patients and members are struggling with. Hips seem to be a bit of an area at the moment we're trying to do a lot of work on. So there's other things we can certainly do for them as well. It's just about encouraging movement that you can do. For me, you know, when you think of, you know, and Zoe yourself, you understand the physiological element of the fluids within the joints, and trying to cover that whole joint surface with fluid through doing repetitive movements is really important. It helps to ease that stiffness at times. But yeah, like I say, I'm happy to give anyone else any feedback if they've got, or sort of any support or advice if they're having any issues, sort of after, not after this, obviously, hopefully feeling great after this session. But, you know, if you're having any specific areas that you want to work on, but also engage into more of a cardio-based exercise.
Absolutely. And I think having Anya demonstrating the chair-based ones makes it so accessible as well. So that's really good. I did a couple of them standing, but mostly seated. It's nice having both options there.
Brilliant. Yeah, and then like I say, recording it, you can just play it back, you can mix it around, you can take other exercises you like doing, build it in. The whole element of that high intensity, it's not as, you know, significantly high intensity, but it's enough to keep your heart rate going at a certain level to get that blood flow around the muscles. As soon as the muscles become warm, they become more malleable, you know, and they feel more comfortable, and that tension suddenly eases them and reduces. You then complement that with the gentle stretching sessions, keeping your body hydrated, and you do feel much more comfortable, like I say. So it's really, really, really important. But there's a lot of evidence and a lot of research coming through that this is actually a really good way for many inflammatory arthritic conditions. Absolutely.
So thank you guys so much. That's been fantastic. We haven't got any questions coming through at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll just let everyone know about our next session. So our next Facebook Live is next week on Wednesday the 19th at 3 p.m. And I'll be joined by Sarah Leyland, who is a specialist nurse and clinical advisor to the Royal Osteoporosis Society. So we'll be chatting about osteoporosis and how you can measure your risk for that and what you can do about that as well. So that'll be another good session focusing on our bones. Brilliant. So was there any sort of final thoughts from you, Josh or Anya, before we finish up?
Anya, do you have anything to share with the wider NASS population?
Just that motion is lotion.
Motion is lotion. I didn't pay for her to say that, by the way, but we will always pull down to the fact that our branch motto is motion is lotion. So yeah, just try different things really. At the end of the day, there are so many benefits with this type of exercise, not just for AS, but for reducing the risk of cardiopulmonary diseases, you know, long-term lung conditions, vascular problems. You know, it's not just the AS it focuses on a wealth of elements. And what we are striving to do is to try different things and make sure, you know, or help to improve the quality of life of the people that we're working with. And, you know, we've found some significant benefits with this, including when we do our regular measurement nights. You know, we've seen actually some massive improvements and reduction in disease progression, which is great as well. So, but like most branches, they're all very engaging. It's a great group of people to be in. So yeah, I'm very thankful to be a part of it. And thank you, Zoe, for inviting us back in again.
Absolutely. No, thank you guys so much. A fantastic session as always. And thank you everyone for getting involved in the comments and joining us live. And yeah, hi to everyone joining on catch up. Hope you've enjoyed the session, and let us know what you think in the comments as well. So thank you guys. I'm going to let you go because I think you've now got your branch session, haven't you? Just
yes, I'm going to put them through this. For those who didn't attend the live session, I'm going to have to now go through this now. So yeah.
Brilliant. I hope you have a good evening.
Thank you, Zoe. We'll see you soon.
Take care and see you soon.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.